People notice you. 17 tiny habits that make you instantly magnetic. There are people who walk into a room and something shifts. The energy changes. Heads turn. Conversations pause. And it is not because they are the loudest person there. It is not because they are the most beautiful or the most successful or the most powerful. There is something else. Something quieter. Something that pulls people toward them without them even trying. That thing has a name. It is called magnetism. And contrary to what most people believe, it is not something you are born with. It is something you build. One tiny habit at a time. One daily choice at a time. One quiet decision at a time. Today we are going to walk through 17 tiny habits that will make you instantly magnetic. Not the loud, performative kind of magnetic that exhausts you, but the deep, calm, irresistible kind that makes people want to be around you, trust you, remember you, and choose you again and again. Pay close attention, because by the time this is over, you will never see yourself or the people around you the same way again. The habit of making people feel truly seen. Most people listen to respond. They are nodding their head while internally preparing their next sentence. They are half present, half somewhere else. And people feel that. They feel the absence behind the eye contact. They feel the impatience behind the smile. Magnetic people listen differently. They listen to understand. They give you their full, undivided, unhurried attention. They make you feel like in this moment, in this conversation, you are the most important person in the room. Not because they are performing attentiveness, but because they are genuinely curious about you. Start practicing this. Put the phone down. Stop preparing your response while someone is still talking. Look at people when they speak. Nod not out of habit, but because you are actually tracking what they are saying. Ask follow-up questions that prove you were listening. Nothing makes a person feel more valued than being truly heard. And people are magnetically drawn to those who make them feel that way. The habit of remembering small details. There is something almost magical that happens when someone remembers something small about you. Not your name, not your job, but the little thing you mentioned in passing 3 weeks ago. The name of your dog. The trip you were nervous about. The project you were hoping would work out. When someone circles back to those details, it communicates something powerful. It says that you mattered enough to be remembered. Not as a category or a contact, but as a real, specific, irreplaceable human being. Magnetic people do this naturally because they are genuinely interested in the people around them. But you can also cultivate this habit intentionally. Make a mental note of the small things people share with you. Follow up. Check in. Say the name of their child when you ask how things are going at home. Watch what happens to their face. Watch how quickly trust is built. The habit of speaking with calm certainty. There is a kind of voice that commands a room without raising its volume. It is not aggressive. It is not forceful. It is simply certain. It knows what it thinks. It says what it means. It does not trail off into uncertainty or pepper every sentence with apologies and qualifications. Magnetic people speak with calm, grounded confidence. They do not rush their words because they are not afraid of taking up space. They do not over-explain because they trust that what they are saying has value. They do not seek validation through upward inflection at the end of every sentence. Practice slowing down when you speak. Let your words land before adding more. Remove filler phrases that dilute your message. Speak as if what you are saying matters because it does. The world pays attention to people who sound like they believe in what they are saying. The habit of entering rooms with intention. Most people walk into a room already shrinking. Head slightly down, phone already out, looking for somewhere to hide or someone to latch onto. They enter apologetically, as if their presence is an inconvenience rather than a contribution. Magnetic people enter differently. They pause at the threshold. They take a breath. They lift their eyes. They walk in as if they belong there because they know they do. Not with arrogance, but with a quiet ease that communicates self-possession. Before you walk into any room today, pause for just 3 seconds. Lift your chin. Pull your shoulders back softly. Take one slow breath. Then walk in like you were invited, like you are glad to be there, like you have something to offer. That microshift in your posture and energy will change how every single person in that room perceives you before you have said a single word. The habit of smiling with your eyes. Anyone can curve their mouth upward. That is a social reflex. But a real smile, the kind that reaches the eyes, the kind that causes the corners to crinkle and the whole face to soften, that is something entirely different. That kind of smile cannot be faked for long. And people know the difference even if they cannot articulate it. Magnetic people smile genuinely. They find real things to appreciate in the people they are with and let that appreciation show on their face. Their warmth is not performed. It is felt. And it creates an immediate sense of safety and connection that makes people want to stay in their presence. Practice finding one genuine thing to appreciate about every person you interact with today. Let that appreciation inform how you look at them. Notice how differently people respond to you when the warmth behind your eyes is real. The habit of being comfortable with silence. Most people are terrified of silence. The moment a pause appears in conversation, they rush to fill it with words, with laughter, with anything that makes the discomfort go away. And ironically, that rushing communicates insecurity. It signals that you are not comfortable just being with another person without performing. Magnetic people are at ease in silence. They do not scramble to fill every gap. They let moments breathe. They sit with pauses without flinching. And that stillness communicates a depth that words often cannot. It says that you are present, not performing. Grounded, not anxious. Safe to be around, not exhausting. Practice sitting in silence without apologizing for it. Let conversations breathe. You will be surprised how much deeper and more memorable your interactions become when you stop trying to fill every second. The habit of giving without keeping score. There is a kind of generosity that magnetizes people. Not the kind that announces itself. Not the kind that comes with strings attached or subtle expectations of reciprocation. But the kind that gives freely, quietly, and without needing anything back. A compliment that costs you nothing but lifts someone's entire day. An introduction that opens a door for someone who needed it. A moment of your time when someone needed to be heard. A word of encouragement when someone was about to give up. Magnetic people are quietly generous in these ways. They add value everywhere they go, not because they are performing kindness, but because generosity is simply how they move through the world. And people remember it. They remember how you made them feel. They come back to that feeling again and again. The habit of not speaking ill of others. Pay attention to how you feel when someone gossips to you about a mutual friend. Even if part of you is entertained, there is another part that is quietly registering something. If they talk about others like this to me, they likely talk about me like this to others. Magnetic people understand this intuitively. They do not tear others down in conversation. Not because they are naive about people's flaws, but because they understand that how you speak about others when they are not present says everything about your character when they are. When you consistently refuse to participate in gossip, when you redirect conversations away from tearing people down, when you choose to speak about others with fairness and generosity even when it is easier not to, something shifts in how people trust you. They begin to feel safe around you in a way that is rare. And that safety is magnetic. The habit of owning your mistakes quickly. Nothing erodes trust faster than someone who cannot admit when they are wrong. And nothing builds it faster than someone who can look another person in the eye and say simply, clearly, and without excessive drama, that they made a mistake and they are sorry. Magnetic people do not cling to being right. They care more about being real. When they are wrong, they say so without making it a performance of self-flagellation and without minimizing it into nothing. They name it, own it, correct what they can, and move forward. This kind of honesty is so rare that it genuinely disarms people. It makes them trust you more, not less. It signals that you are secure enough in yourself not to need the armor of always being right. And that security is deeply, irresistibly attractive. The habit of matching energy without losing your own. Magnetic people have a rare ability to meet people where they are. When someone is grieving, they do not rush to silver linings. They sit in the sadness with them. When someone is celebrating, they genuinely celebrate without reservation or jealousy. When someone is anxious, they bring calm without dismissing the anxiety. This is called emotional attunement. It is the ability to sense what another person needs from an interaction and show up for that need. Not as a chameleon who has no self, but as someone grounded enough in their own identity that they can flex toward others without losing themselves. Practice reading the room before you enter it emotionally. Ask yourself what this person or these people need right now, and then choose intentionally how to show up. That level of awareness and responsiveness is something people rarely encounter and never forget. The habit of dressing with intention. This is not about expensive clothes or following trends. It is about the message your appearance sends before you ever open your mouth. How you dress communicates how you see yourself, and how you see yourself communicates how others should see you. Magnetic people dress with care. They choose clothes that fit well, that reflect their identity, and that signal that they respect themselves and the spaces they enter. They are not trying to impress anyone specifically. They are simply honoring themselves enough to show up put together. You do not need a designer wardrobe to do this. You need clean, well-fitted clothes that you feel genuinely good in. You need to look in the mirror before you leave and feel a quiet confidence rather than indifference. That confidence will radiate from you all day in ways you may not even consciously notice. The habit of having a life outside of people. One of the most counterintuitive truths about magnetism is this: the more full and interesting and self-sufficient your life is, the more attractive you become to others. Not because you are trying to seem interesting, but because you genuinely are. Magnetic people have passions. They read deeply. They pursue hobbies with real devotion. They have opinions formed from genuine experience and curiosity. They have inner lives that are rich and layered and not entirely dependent on other people for their sense of fulfillment. This self-sufficiency is magnetic because it communicates something rare. It says that your life is not a void that others need to fill. It says that you choose people not out of need but out of genuine desire. And being chosen by someone who does not need you but genuinely wants you is one of the most compelling feelings a human being can experience. The habit of asking better questions. Most people ask surface questions. How are you? What do you do? Where are you from? These are conversational formalities, not genuine invitations to connect. Magnetic people ask questions that go deeper. What has been the most meaningful part of your week? What are you most excited about right now? What is a belief you used to hold that you have completely changed your mind about? These questions invite people into a different kind of conversation. A real one. And real conversations create real connection. People leave those interactions feeling energized, seen, and intellectually alive in a way that small talk never produces. Start collecting better questions. Have a few in your back pocket for different situations. And then ask them with genuine curiosity, not as a technique, but as a real desire to know the person in front of you more fully. The quality of your relationships will transform almost immediately. The habit of protecting your energy without explaining it. Magnetic people know what drains them and they quietly protect themselves from it. They leave situations that are no longer serving them without making it a drama. They decline invitations that would cost them more than they can give without lengthy justifications. They keep their inner circle small and intentional. This is not coldness. It is wisdom. And it is deeply attractive because it communicates self-awareness and self-respect. People who have no boundaries have no shape. They are formless, pulled in every direction, constantly depleted. People who protect their energy have a presence that is focused and strong and coherent. You do not owe anyone an explanation for choosing your peace. A simple, warm, firm no is a complete sentence. Practice using it. And notice how much more you have to give to the people and things that genuinely deserve your presence. The habit of being genuinely happy for other people. Jealousy is one of the most common human experiences and one of the most corrosive. It is hard to be magnetic when you are quietly resenting the success, the beauty, the happiness, or the progress of the people around you. That resentment leaks. People feel it even when it is never spoken. Magnetic people have done enough inner work to celebrate others without it costing them anything. They can look at someone else's win and feel genuinely glad without it triggering their own insecurity. They understand that someone else's light does not dim theirs. That abundance is not a finite resource. That the universe is not playing a zero-sum game with human happiness. Practice catching jealousy when it rises and asking yourself what it is pointing to. It is almost always pointing at something you want for yourself. Use that information to fuel your own growth rather than to diminish someone else's joy. And in the meantime, celebrate people out loud. Congratulate genuinely. Clap for others. That kind of wholehearted generosity of spirit is one of the rarest and most magnetic qualities a human being can possess. The habit of following through on small things. Trust is not built in grand gestures. It is built in the accumulation of small kept promises. I will send you that article. I will check in on you this week. I will be there at the time I said I would be there. These tiny commitments, when honored consistently, create a reputation that precedes you. Magnetic people are known for their reliability, not their perfection, not their status, their word. When they say something, people know they can count on it. And that consistency is so rare in a world of good intentions and forgotten follow-throughs that it genuinely sets you apart. Start treating your small promises as seriously as your large ones. If you say you are going to do something, write it down, set a reminder, and do it. If you cannot follow through, communicate early and honestly. The relationship between your words and your actions is one of the most powerful architects of how the world perceives you. The habit of ending every interaction by leaving people better. This is the last habit and in many ways the most important one. Before every interaction ends, ask yourself silently whether this person is leaving better than they arrived. Did I add something to their day or take something from it? Did I make them feel more confident, more seen, more energized, or did I leave them feeling drained, diminished, or forgotten? Magnetic people are net positive presences. Everywhere they go, they leave a residue of warmth, encouragement, clarity, or joy. Not because they are performing goodness, but because they have decided that leaving people better is simply how they move through the world. This does not require grand effort. A genuine compliment. A word of appreciation. A moment of real attention. A reminder that someone is doing better than they think. These tiny deposits compound into a reputation that travels further than you know. People talk about how you made them feel, and they come back to that feeling for the rest of their lives, bringing it all together. Magnetism is not a personality type you either have or do not have. It is a practice. It is a collection of small, intentional, daily habits that over time transform how you show up in the world and how the world responds to you. You do not have to implement all 17 of these habits overnight. Pick one. Just one. Practice it today and tomorrow and the day after until it becomes so natural it stops feeling like a habit and starts feeling like who you are. Then pick another. And another. And watch as your relationships deepen, your opportunities expand, and your presence in every room begins to carry a weight and a warmth that draws people toward you almost effortlessly. Because that is what magnetism really is. It is not a trick. It is not a strategy. It is the natural result of becoming someone who is genuinely, deeply, consistently excellent at being human. And you are already on that path. The fact that you are here, watching this, investing in your own growth, tells me everything I need to know about the kind of person you are becoming. Keep going. The best version of you is not a distant dream. It is one tiny habit closer than it was yesterday. If this video resonated with you, subscribe to this channel right now and do not wait. Every single day we create content that helps you become more confident, more self-aware, more connected, and more magnetic in every area of your life. Hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications, and join a growing community of people who are committed to becoming the best version of themselves. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it today. Leave a comment below telling us which of these habits you are starting with. We read every single one. Thank you for being here. Now go out there and let people notice you.